health comes first. I know Roman's the quote-unquote locker room leader, and when it comes to your family, when it comes to your life, especially with what he's been through with his leukemia, I don't blame the guy for backing out. I don't.
I just feel like they probably feel that Vince McMahon is going to get them back down the road for doing what they did,
Well, Vince McMahon is a selfish son of a bitch, and all he cares about is himself. And the man needs to step away from the wrestling business already. He really does, because they're, with an exception to this past Monday night, I haven't really been interested too much in the product. I mean, Monday, I was interested. I thought the product was a little better on Monday with the promos and stuff like that. They could do without
the promos are pretty good.
They could do without the reruns of stuff. What they should do, moving forward, just my opinion, take that third hour away, make it a 2-hour show, give us some more wrestling, and like I said, make it a little darker, put the wrestlers around ringside.
I always felt that the show should always be 2 hours. To me, 3 hours is too long. And even for this WrestleMania, 5 hours.
WrestleMania is now a 2-night event. It's become a little too much.
Did you guys hear that they were trying to get people to buy the pay-per-view because they were trying to take it off the network? I don't know if you
I think he wanted something about it just being strictly on ESPN or something like that. I don't know too much about it, so I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah, because it was something, but I really don't care about that, because to me that's bullshit. I'm not paying $60.
Listen,
I think it's because they lost out on money, so they're trying to get some money back from the loss of the event. That's probably why.
Listen, right now with this pandemic, with this COVID-19 thing, everybody's losing money.
Free. Free.
Everybody's losing money, not just Vince. People losing their jobs, people losing their businesses. Yeah. It's an unfortunate event that no one ever would have thought would happen in a million years. And bottom line, my opinion, I just feel WrestleMania should have been postponed. This whole thing, the 2-night event, WrestleMania in the Performance Center, really doesn't do it for me. I'm going to watch it. I hope, it's a little more entertaining than what we have seen the last couple of weeks from the WWE. They're doing their best that they can give us in the situation that's going on. I feel they could do a little better. I mean, look at AEW. AEW wasn't a perfect show last night, though. But given the circumstances, I thought the show overall was a good show. It wasn't great. I'd give it I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10. But, at least, they're entertaining us. They had their wrestlers out at ringside. They're giving us a great show. I love, at the end, when Darby Allin climbed the pole and did the coffin drop at 10 or 15 feet in the air. That was great.
I love that Jericho promo with Mankind One.
Let me tell you, Jericho, the man constantly reinvents himself. Jericho is great. I could watch Jericho the whole 2 hours of the show.
I do enjoy the fact when he does say, "When I allow the fans back into the arena." I'm banning. I know. I'm banning all fans from future AEW events. He's great, but last night when he made the little baby inner circle shirt for Vanguard 1, and then Vanguard took off, and he's like, "Come back here," and he's like, "He stole my shirt."
And the dog was trying to get the shirt. I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, release the hounds. Jericho's great.
I can't.
But, listen, bottom line, I feel Riddle should have been the one to replace Strowman. WrestleMania should have been postponed. And, moving forward, I hope this whole COVID thing, blows over soon. I don't think it's going to, but I just can't wait till we have a live audience again, because that's what really makes the show. Is the crowd.
I'm certainly happy that they are canceling Blood and Guts, because, come on. You can't have a cage match with no fans.
No, absolutely not. Listen, I had a ticket. I have a ticket for that show. I was just as upset as a lot of other people were. And I'm honestly hoping that the postponement date is for the date that they have planned for the Dynamite show, July 22nd. I hope this thing is over by July 22nd. I hope this thing's over in another month. But like I was saying though, what makes the shows, whether it's AEW, WWE, New Japan, whatever it is, indie wrestling, the crowd makes that show. To not have that live crowd reaction, it takes a huge part away from the show. You can be the greatest wrestler in the world, to not showcase what you can do in front of a crowd full of people just sucks.
The women's division is kind of been bothering me. I mean, I can't even pronounce it.
Well, yeah, no. Listen, AEW. Look, I get my reviews on stuff. I'm a wrestling fan. I watch WWE. I watch AEW. I will say the women's division does need work. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I kind of like the Sheeter and what was her name, Anna Jay, last night.
Yeah,
I thought that was a little bit of an improvement for the women's division.
I have to say, Sheeta is my favorite woman wrestler in AEW right now.
Oh no, Sheeta's great.
Yeah.
That's why
I don't know. I got
a lot because she could put it up.
I don't know. I mean, I gotta disagree. I mean, I honestly feel that they're pushing her like people love her so much, and I don't hear a word about anything people liking her too much. What really bothers me is that they're not pushing Britt Baker enough. I mean, she should be the face of AEW as far as I'm concerned. I mean, she has an education that could inspire young girls in our generation today to go after some careers and stuff like that. And it's just like they're not capitalizing on that. And I feel like it's a big mistake on their part. I do admit that
they're trying.
Baker does need work. She does need
No,
work.
listen, she does need work, but they also, too, you don't want to just focus around one person either.
Oh, no, not at all. But they were they've been completely burying her to all the Japanese women. And I'm like saying to myself, like, nobody knows who these people are. I mean, I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, but you know what though? Now I'm glad you said that though. I'm glad you said that because I like that people don't know who some of these wrestlers are because this is my opinion. Whether you like it or not, this is just my take on it. This is what separates AEW from the WWE. How many superstars? Now you have your wrestlers, you have your stars, but how many actual superstars has the WWE created? Where AEW is bringing these people in and they're creating stars. Like they're going to take Lance Archer. Down the line he's going to be a big-time player. They're trying to bring in names like Darby Allin, who actually I wouldn't mind seeing as the new TNT champion. They're trying to build stars where they had to take a guy like Bill Goldberg and strap him with the Universal title because who were they going to put it on? Which is, I disagree with that whole scenario in general. Yeah. They totally killed the Fiend character with that Goldberg match. But
I no longer care.
It's a dead subject, and this is the thing with WWE: create your stars, create your superstars. This way, you have people to work with. This way, when you have a good build, and when it gets to a title match, I'll want this person to have the title. Whereas, like, it's like the Universal title means nothing. The Fiend had it, and now Goldberg comes in. What is he, 52, 53 years old? Spear, jackhammer, and that's it. Goldberg's the Universal champion. And this is what I mean. The difference between AEW and the WWE is AEW is trying to create stars rather than, just, let's call in a big name that people know. Let's throw him on TV, and we'll give him the Universal title.
I mean, I don't know how you guys feel. I mean, for me, I'm a pretty old school fan, and my stance here, I just feel like a lot of these guys today are way too small, and I know that's changed in the wrestling business. I mean, I think Darby Allin has great charisma. I think he definitely brings something to the table. I think he's the only one that does a good suicide dive compared to everyone else in the business because he actually really gives it to you when he goes out there.
I mean, Darby Allin's a great in-ring performer. I mean, Kip Sabian, Shawn Spears. I mean, they did nothing with Shawn Spears in the WWE. That's their loss when he came out as the perfect 10-10-10-10. He's doing so much better in AEW. All these guys, like you got Brody Lee, who just left, showed up. Matt Hardy. They're all so much better on their own in AEW, experimenting with whatever it is they're coming up with, and that's another thing that separates AEW from WWE, which is why Matt Hardy left, which is why Moxley left, which is why Brody Lee left. You have creative over your own character. If it doesn't work, that's on you. You go with something else then, and that, like I said, that's why Brody Lee left. Matt Hardy, Moxley. If you listen to the recent Talk Is Jericho podcast. Brody Lee was. What's up?
Can I step in real quick? Now, Brody Lee, how do you guys feel about his character? I gotta admit, I'm not feeling it.
I was wondering where they were going to go with this Dark Order thing. You know, he came in. I mean, I love how he performs in the ring. You know, he's very. What's the word I'm looking for? He's very strong. He's very just like dominant, and you know, I'd like to see that in the ring. I don't like last week. I like the whole. He was sitting down with the suit. He made a couple of jokes towards Vince McMahon about not sneezing, and then this week again, they continued with the Vince McMahon jokes. He was dressed in like that suit blazer with the tan pants, the tie. Don't yawn in front of me. Right. They have to stop with that.
Yeah, I'm starting to think this is just a Vince McMahon parody. It's not even anything serious.
I agree. I mean, I agree with that.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing for me. When I saw Brody Lee for the first time in WWE, when he was wearing that shitty shirt that was filthy and the ripped jeans, I was like, man, this guy is the modern day Bruiser Brody, and he should have brought that to AEW. Right. Because he looks exactly like him.
Right.
In the modern day. And I think he should have capitalized on that. He doesn't need to be coming out like with this character. I mean, his outfit his jacket almost reminds me of Matt Hardy's deal. I mean, that's why I said
that is very close, that jacket.
Right. And I feel like he's the modern day Bruiser Brody. I mean, he should have kept that look. I don't know if WWE could sue him for the likeness of the look or whatever, but to me, I feel he should have capitalized on that look and just ran over everybody in AEW. Give this guy a bunch of wins and then go from there.
Right. No, I totally agree with you with that. The only thing I would take away from his character right now is stop with the whole, like, Vince McMahon digs. Stop doing the jokes towards Vince McMahon. Make his character a little more serious. Like when he showed up and Christopher Daniels, you know, was in the ring, and he, like, just laid him out. Like, that's the character you want to see. Very serious, very dominant. And these promos he's cutting, like, they're good, but they're too much. It's like a comic relief kind of thing. You know, they're taking a dig at Vince McMahon. And that I would move away from. You know.
And that's what they said that. Right. And that's the thing with AEW. They keep preaching, but they're not practicing what they preach. They're saying that, you know, Moxley in the beginning was kind of taking digs at WWE, understandably. But, you know, now it's like every chance they get, now they're doing it. Because, like, these guys are getting a little bit more creative freedom there, which I'm sure they're happy with. But I think sometimes, like, they need to monetize some of their ideas. Let them use some, but take away the bad. You know what I mean? You got good minds there like Jericho there. I mean, let a mind like him help these other guys out. I mean,
right.
I mean, the Vince McMahon parody is just
no. They have to stop with that. Stupid. Like 1 week it was funny or whatever. The whole sneezing thing, I get it. All right, Vince McMahon doesn't like when people sneeze around him. Ha ha ha! It's funny. You know, now go back into the serious character that Brody Lee was brought in to be. He was supposed to be the exalted one of the Dark Order. He was supposed to come in, you know, and help this group be more of a serious group, not make it a comic relief thing. And I don't want to. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it go down that route because I feel like Brody Lee, Evil Uno, you know, that whole duo they have there. It's you know, it could be a good thing if they use it the right way.
I just thought it was hilarious that Tony Schiavone and I think Colt Cabana knew which one was 8 and 9 last night in that tag match. I was like, how did they know?
I don't know. That was the other thing too. That was a little. I wasn't really liking that too much. The whole 8 and 9, and then he came out.
The commentary was a little whack with Colt Cabana.
A little bit. You got to remember.
It was all right. It had its moments, but there was a lot of dry moments, and it was like, all right, let's focus on the wrestling and stop worrying about 8 and 9. Like,
exactly. I mean, at this point, those outfits are horrible. They look like foot soldiers from
I was saying the same thing. I was like, these guys look like foot soldiers. What the hell is going on?
Speaking of Lance, not Lance, Colt Cabana, he's going to be taking on Lance Archer in part of that bracket for the new TNT
actually, that's
title.
why I liked that Marco Stunt match because I was like, oh, now I'm going to really see this guy friggin' kill Colt Cabana. So I was like,
the TNT Championship tournament. What do you guys think about that? I'm happy that they finally put a mid-card title in the mix now.
Does anybody know what the title look like?
No, they haven't.
No,
they haven't unveiled anything on what the title looks like at all yet. But I'm